Hey everyone, so if you've ever stared at a page full of optics equations and felt like you're trying to decode some ancient alien language, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to put on our physics teacher hats and take those floaty, abstract numbers and letters and turn them into intuitive, totally usable tools. We are going to completely demystify the mirror and lens formulas in this explainer.
Okay, let's dive right into our agenda. We'll start with an optics mystery, then cover the core variables, compare the mirror and lens formulas, learn the sign convention trick, and finally solve that mystery.
So starting with Section 1, an optics mystery, we're going to look at Rashmi and Shruti's experiment.
Picture this. We're in the physics lab with two students, Rashmi and Shruti. They both place a pencil exactly 10 centimeters away from their optical instruments. But here's where it gets weird. Rashmi looks through hers and sees an upright image of the pencil that looks like it's 20 centimeters behind the instrument itself. But Shruti, she's actually projecting an upside-down image of her pencil onto a physical piece of paper 15 centimeters behind her instrument. Same exact setup, totally different results. So what optical instruments are they actually using?
Moving right along to Section 2, the core variables, where we start understanding the math.
Now, before we do any math, we really need to ground these abstract letters in physical reality. Take a look at this standard lab setup. You've got a lamp box with a crosswire, that's basically our lit-up object. Then we have a mirror doing the reflecting and a screen to catch the image. In a real lab, you'd physically slide these pieces along a meter stick to find the clear image. And you know what? The distances between these literal, physical pieces of equipment, that's exactly what our variables represent.
First up is U, which stands for object distance. Just picture the physical space between the optical instrument, say the pole of a mirror or the center of a lens, and the actual physical object you're looking at. In our lab mystery, the pencil is the object, and both students placed it 10 centimeters away. So for both of them, U is going to involve that 10 centimeters. Next, we've got V, the image distance. This is the distance from the instrument to where the projected light actually lands, or, where it appears to land to your eye. So for Rashmi, her V is 20 centimeters behind the instrument. For Shruti, her V is 15 centimeters behind it, right there on that piece of paper.
And finally, there's F, the focal length. Think of F as the unique fingerprint of the specific mirror or lens you just pulled out of the drawer. It's the distance between the principal focus and the pole. Basically, finding F is the whole game here. It tells us exactly what kind of instrument we're dealing with.
All right, Section 3. Mirror versus lens formulas. These are our core tools.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how insanely similar these two formulas are. I mean, they're almost identical. The mirror formula is 1 over v plus 1 over u equals 1 over f, and the lens formula, 1 over v minus 1 over u equals 1 over f. Literally, the only difference is that the mirror formula uses a plus sign and the lens formula uses a minus sign. It is so easy to mix these up on a test, but keeping that single sign straight is your absolute golden ticket to optics math.
Which leads us to Section 4, the sign convention trick, also known as the Cartesian rules. So before we just go plugging Rashmi and Shruti's numbers into those equations, we absolutely need a rulebook. If you just drop raw numbers in, you're going to get the wrong answer every single time. Enter the Cartesian sign convention. It's actually super intuitive if you just picture a standard math graph. Rule 1, incident light always moves from left to right. Because of that, any measurement to the left of the instrument is negative. Anything to the right, moving with the light, is positive. And just like your standard graph, anything above the principal axis is positive and below is negative. So that pencil placed in front of an instrument on the left, it'll always have a negative U.
And this brilliantly illustrates our final part. Section 5, solving the mystery by applying the rules.
Okay, let's play detective with Rashmi first. She's got an upright image, which tells us it's virtual and erect. Crucially, it appears behind the instrument. Now, think about this. With lenses, virtual erect images form on the same side as the object. But with mirrors, they form on the other side. Because of that, Rashmi absolutely must be using a mirror. Let's apply our signs. Her object is 10 centimeters to the left, so U is negative 10. The image is 20 centimeters to the right, behind the mirror, so V is positive 20.
Let's run that mirror formula. We've got 1 over 20 plus 1 over negative 10 equals 1 over f. Doing a bit of fraction magic, that gives us 1 over 20 minus 2 over 20, which leaves us with negative 1 over 20. Flip that around and boom,
we get a focal length of negative 20 centimeters. Since that focal length is negative, the focus is to the left of the mirror. And that right there is the definitive, absolute signature of a concave mirror. Mystery Part 1 officially solved.
All right, now for Shruti. Her image is upside down. And remember, she caught it on a literal piece of paper. Now, if you can catch an image on a physical screen, it is a real image. And a real image forming behind an instrument means the light had to actually pass through it. So Shruti is definitely using a lens. Applying our sign trick again, the pencil is on the left, so U is negative 10. That real image is on the right side, so V is positive 15.
Let's execute that lens formula. 1 over 15 minus 1 over negative 10 equals 1 over f. Now look closely. Those double negatives become a positive, right? So we get 1 over 15 plus 1 over 10. Find the common denominator, which is 30, and you get 2/30 plus 3/30, giving us 5/30. Simplify that down to 1 over 6. Flip it, and f equals positive 6 centimeters. A positive focal length means the focus is on the right, which is the undeniable signature of a convex lens. The whole mystery is fully solved.
Now, just a quick aside before we wrap up. In a real physics lab, doing this just once isn't really enough. Check out this standard lab table. To truly lock in an instrument's focal length, you'd want to change that object distance, u, multiple times, measure the new v each time, run the formula, and then find a really accurate average for f. That is real, rigorous science in action.
Well, it wouldn't be a proper physics explainer if I didn't leave you with a bit of a challenge to test out your new skills, right? So here is a take-home problem for you. If you place an object 25 centimeters in front of a concave mirror that has a focal length of 15 centimeters, exactly where would you need to put a screen to catch a perfectly sharp image? Keep those Cartesian sign conventions in mind before you calculate. Grab a pen, test out that mirror formula, and see if you can crack the code yourself. Thanks for joining me today, and keep exploring the fascinating world of optics.